What they found changed our understanding of human history forever.
Have you ever wondered if history is hiding secrets? Objects so advanced they don't belong in their time? Today we uncover ancient relics that break the rules of history.
This is a reconstruction of a 2,000-year-old computer.
The Ulfbert Viking sword.
It's a dedicated calculating machine.
This instrument is actually a mechanical computer.
Tools and inventions that should be impossible. These aren't myths or legends. They are real. They exist, and they defy explanation.
A new world of secrets was revealed, a user guide hidden within the folds of corroded bronze.
How did ancient people create them? Who gave them this knowledge? Some say luck. Others whisper of lost civilizations. A few even believe in visitors from the stars. Get ready for a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew. Stay sharp. This is no ordinary history lesson. Mechanical marvels that shouldn't exist. Let's start with something that feels like science fiction yet is all too real. Picture this. In 1901, off the coast of Greece, a group of divers looking for sea sponges stumbled upon something strange. Among the wreckage of an ancient ship, they found what looked like a pile of corroded metal, but it was no ordinary scrap. Hidden inside was a machine so complex that it would puzzle experts for over a century. This was the Antikythera mechanism. At first glance, it seemed like a jumble of gears, but as scientists cleaned and studied it, they made a stunning discovery.
This is a reconstruction of a 2,000-year-old computer.
This was an ancient computer. Over 2,000 years old, it could track the movements of the sun and the moon and even predict eclipses.
It's a dedicated calculating machine, and it uses bronze gear wheels to calculate the cycles of the cosmos.
It worked like a cosmic clock, showing the brilliance of ancient Greek engineering. The level of detail is mind-blowing, even by today's standards. Now, let's talk about another ancient wonder, the astrolabe.
This is an Islamic astrolabe. This instrument is actually a mechanical computer.
This handheld device helped early astronomers map the stars. Made of finely crafted metal, it was like a portable universe. Travelers and sailors used it to guide their way across unknown lands and seas. It wasn't just useful, it was beautiful, with markings that showed deep knowledge of the skies. Both of these creations remind us of one thing. The people of the past were far more advanced than we give them credit for. They looked to the stars and built tools to understand the cosmos, and they did it long before modern science was even a dream. Weapons and tools ahead of their time. Now let's step onto the battlefield of history. Here, ancient weapons were more than just tools of war. They were masterpieces of science and skill. Take the Damascus steel swords, for example. Forged in the Middle East over 1,000 years ago, these blades were feared across the world. Warriors said they could slice through iron and kept their sharp edge no matter how many battles they fought. The secret? A special method of forging steel that is still not fully understood today. Modern blacksmiths try to copy it, but none have matched the strength and beauty of the originals. And then there's the Ulfbert sword. Crafted by the Vikings, this blade was centuries ahead of its time.
The Ulfbert Viking sword.
Its metal purity was so high that experts believed it couldn't have been made during the Viking Age. To create such a sword, the makers needed to reach temperatures far beyond what was thought possible back then. How they managed this remains a mystery. Both the Damascus steel and the Ulfbert sword tell the same story. Our ancestors were not just brave, they were brilliant. They pushed the limits of their world, creating tools and weapons that still amaze scientists and historians today. These were not just weapons, they were wonders. Energy and electricity before their time. Let's go even deeper into the mysteries of the past. Imagine this. What if ancient people actually understood electricity? It sounds unbelievable, almost like science fiction, but the Baghdad battery makes us stop and think. Found near the ancient city of Baghdad, this curious artifact is made of 3 simple parts: a clay jar, a copper tube, and an iron rod. These pieces form what looks like an ancient battery when put together. Some experts believe it could create an electrical charge, maybe used for electroplating jewelry or even for some kind of medical treatment. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some argue it could have been something completely different. Either way, this object proves that ancient minds explored things we once thought were only modern discoveries. And if that wasn't strange enough, Consider the L-tenon antenna. In 1964, scientists photographed something that took everyone by surprise while surveying the ocean floor near Antarctica. Sitting upright on the seabed was an object that looked just like a modern antenna. Theories spread quickly. Some say it's debris from a shipwreck. Others whisper about alien technology lost beneath the waves. To this day, no one knows the true story. These mysteries remind us of one thing. Ancient civilizations may have been far more advanced than we've been taught. Maybe, just maybe, they were tapping into energies we still barely understand. Construction wonders that defy time. Let's talk about buildings and materials that should have crumbled long ago, but still stood tall. The ancient Romans were true masters of this. They created something we still can't fully replicate today: Roman concrete. While modern concrete wears down and cracks over time, Roman concrete seems to get stronger with age. The secret was volcanic ash. When this ash mixed with lime and water, it created a chemical reaction that actually made the concrete heal itself. Even seawater couldn't break it. That's why ancient harbors, bridges, and aqueducts built by the Romans are still here, telling stories of a forgotten genius. Speaking of iron, let's travel to India and visit the Iron Pillar of Delhi. This pillar is over 1,600 years old and made almost entirely of pure iron. But here's the catch: it hasn't rusted, not even a bit. Scientists scratched their heads for years over this one. The answer lies in the ancient Indian blacksmiths' deep knowledge of metalworking. They somehow crafted a protective layer that has kept the pillar safe from time and weather. We cannot forget the Roman aqueducts. These massive stone structures carried water across mountains and valleys straight into busy cities. The design wasn't just smart, it was beautiful. Perfect arches, strong foundations, and a system so clever that it kept ancient Rome alive and thriving. These all show us that ancient builders were not just skilled, they were visionaries. They left behind wonders carved in stone and forged in fire, daring us to understand their brilliance. Ancient maps and coins that rewrite history. Now, let's dive into the world of ancient maps and forgotten money items that seem to break all the rules of history. One of the most fascinating is the Piri Reis map, created in 1513 by a skilled Turkish admiral and cartographer. This map shows something that still confuses experts today: the outline of Antarctica. But here's where it gets strange. Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until centuries later. And this map? It doesn't just show an icy wasteland. It shows Antarctica as it might have looked long ago, without the thick sheets of ice that cover it today. Some believe this suggests ancient sailors had explored far more of the planet than we ever thought possible. Others argue that it points to a lost civilization with knowledge of Earth's geography, which remains a mystery. Now, let's move to the forests of Maine in the United States. In the 1950s, a surprising discovery was made: the Maine penny, a small Viking coin from the reign of King Olaf of Norway. But how did this coin travel thousands of miles to North America, long before Columbus crossed the Atlantic? Some say it's proof that Viking explorers journeyed farther south than we imagined. Others believe it was passed through trade over centuries. Either way, these discoveries challenge what we think we know. Maybe, just maybe, history still holds many secrets, scattered like breadcrumbs across the world. Cryptic artifacts that refuse to be explained. Now we step into the world of ancient puzzles. Artifacts are so strange and mysterious. They feel like riddles left behind by time, just waiting for us to solve them. Let's begin with the Phaistos disc. This curious object was discovered over a century ago on the island of Crete. It's a simple clay disc, yet it's covered in symbols that no one has been able to understand fully. To this day, nobody knows what these symbols mean, or even why the disc was made. Some experts believe it could be one of the earliest forms of writing. Others suggest it might have been a religious artifact used in forgotten ceremonies. But even with all our advanced technology, the disc refuses to give up its secrets. Next, we have the Shigir idol. Found deep in the frozen lands of Russia, this wooden statue is over 9,000 years old. Carved with strange geometric patterns, it is believed to be the oldest wooden sculpture ever found. Some think the carvings might tell stories of ancient myths, or perhaps carry messages from a lost culture. Whatever the truth may be, it remains locked away in the past, hidden beneath layers of history. And then there's the Roman dodecahedron, a small bronze object with 12 flat faces, each marked by a hole. Was it a scientific tool, a game, or part of a forgotten ritual? No one really knows. But like all these artifacts, it challenges us to keep searching for answers. So, what do all these strange relics really tell us? It's clear that the past holds more mysteries than we ever imagined. These are not just forgotten objects gathering dust in museums. They are whispers from history, challenging everything we think we know about ancient times. Could our ancestors have been far smarter than we give them credit for? Did they hold lost knowledge that time has buried? Or maybe were they helped by forces beyond this world? The answers remain hidden, waiting to be discovered. One thing is for sure, history is full of secrets, and we've only just begun to uncover them. If you enjoyed this journey, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell for more adventures into the unknown.